As always, the opposition party has some thoughts on what the governor should discuss in her State of the State address.
As our Capitol correspondent Tim Skubic reports, they agree on some topics but stand opposed on others.
Politics sometimes is so unfair. Whomever is governor, he or she gets center stage attention for their State of the State message. Massive statewide TV coverage and loads of headlines trumpeting the speech before and after. And then comes the minority party, where it seems unfair. The Republicans in this case are relegated to scramble for their coverage that is confined to an audience of Capitol reporters who out of fairness are obliged to cover what they have to say. But it's really an unfair fight. But the minority party has to play the game even though the outcome is predestined. She will get more attention than the other guys. Meanwhile, the other guys still want the governor to talk about tax cuts. She will do that. And while the two sides have some differences on how to get there, there is no question there will be a bipartisan compromise to give citizens a slice of the state's $9.2 billion surplus. The two sides also agree that the roads need to be fixed. But the Republicans, in critiquing the governor's plan so far, including an ill-fated 45-cent gas tax hike and selling bonds to get the job done, they want to hear this from her.
What is the governor's real roads plan? What is her real roads package in terms of going into the next 4 years? She already put the state on a credit card a few years ago.
The two sides will have some serious disagreements on the law enforcement front in general and the gun safety issue in particular, along with dealing with imprisoned felons. The governor calls for common sense gun safety measures, and the Republicans are worried about this.
If we start opening up doors and letting all these violent criminals out, that funding isn't going to go far enough. We're hoping she'll reject some of these radical policies we've seen by Democrats.
The governor has said nothing about that. Both sides agree that they do need to work together. And if this legislative year is like the rest, sometimes they will and sometimes they won't. And we're about to find out which is which. Here for you in Lansing, Tim Skubic, 6 News.